Class C1 semifinals, Lincoln Christian, winners of 37 straight, taking on Gothenburg, coming off a game in which they scored 14 three-pointers in a victory over Bridgeport. But it was Lincoln Christian hitting from outside early. Macy Pittenger was cold on Wednesday, not on Friday, hitting there. Lincoln Christian with the lead early on, but Gothenburg would hold an early lead. Lincoln Christian from the corner, Samantha Deerking, she had 12 points in the first half. And the Crusaders tie the game, but Gothenburg played really well in the first quarter. Great ball movement. Lindley Anderson off the window. And the Swedes have a 14-9 lead, but the second quarter belonged to Lincoln Christian. That shot up and good there for Alex Beveridge, but it was all Lincoln Christian from there. They go on an extended run, ending the half with a three there by Jesse. He's rate 22-4. Second quarter, and Lincoln Christian up 34-18 at the break. Second half, though, Gothenburg down 19. They start to go on a bit of a run. Halsey Tamala with 2 of her 16 points on the game. Gets the and one to fall there. Lincoln Christian answering from deep. Pittenger from downtown. She had 12. All from beyond the arc. But Gothenburg goes on a big run. Looking down low, they get it to Lindley Anderson again off the nice feed from Zoe Beveridge. And in the fourth quarter, Gothenburg coming all the way back from 19 down. This is the senior Beveridge kicking to Ellie Wyatt, who hits the triple. Gothenburg would come back and tie this game after being down 19. Here, Taryn O'Hare keys the triple. She had a couple of those on the game, and Gothenburg starting to believe. Down 2, Beveridge, little Beveridge service here to Tamala off the nice feed, and we're tied at 49, but Lincoln Christian found great plays down the stretch. Heeser gets the Plinko chip 3 to fall. And they would put it away down the stretch. Maddie Kazabon led all scores with 22. She was the key for them in the fourth quarter in putting the game away. And Lincoln Christian gets the win 64-51. They advance to the Class C1 championship game. Milford looking for a manner of revenge, trying to advance to their first state championship game ever. This will help. The three-pointer falls there for Oldfield as Milford has the lead early. This was a back-and-forth game early on, although Milford getting it down low there to Ashlyn Miller, the 6-foot senior with 2 of her 14 points. But Minden able to answer. They had a 6-point lead after Maddie Camry hits that one. She finished with 16 as well, and it's Minden with the lead after one. Second quarter, all Milford. Just pure dominance. A 27-7 quarter, led by Ayla Roth there. Blows by the defense, gets the left-handed lay-in. Roth, a distributor as well. She had 7 assists, including quite a few to Izzy Yakeley, who was 5 of 12 from deep. Milford takes the lead at the half. Minden able to get this shot to drop. They needed that one to end the first half. That was Mila Emery getting the and one. She led Minden with 18. Second half, Milford extending their lead. It's Roth, our player of the game, at 13 points, 7 assists. She has 15 assists over the course of this tournament so far. But Minden not going away. Great position by Emery as she gets it to go there. Minden coming back. They would get it within 5, but Milford found play after play. Yakeley for 3. As we head to the fourth, Minden going on a little bit of a run. Down 12, they finally get threes to fall. They made no three-pointers in the first half. Kinsey Land hits that one there. And then later, it's Emery from deep. As I mentioned, Minden able to get it within 5, but Milford able to make plays down the stretch, and it was Roth making plays down the stretch. The and one here gave Milford the 8-point lead. And then the kick out, this was the dagger. The freshman, Abby Crabtree, off the bench. And Milford, for the first time in school history, will play for a state title. They beat Minden 67-61. They'll get Lincoln Christian in the state championship game. Welcome back.
Class A semifinal number 1 on Friday at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The defending champs and top-seeded Millard West taking on Lincoln North Star, a rematch of the semifinals from last year when Millard West won by 30+. This year, the Gessert twins get things started. Neely Gessert with a triple early on in the first quarter. North Star answers back with a three of their own. Kendall Anderson, she knocked down two in the quarter as teams traded blows early. North Star up 8-6. Not anymore. Gessert makes it a 9-8 game as Neely Gessert had 5 triples in this one. Now it's 16-9 Millard West in the second quarter, and senior Sarah Gatwich takes it to the rack. She had a huge second quarter where she put up 9 points. It was 19-16 when we went to halftime as Annie Liu gets the putback here and scores. North Star not being intimidated by Millard West this time around. 1 point lead right before halftime, and Gatwich gets the bucket, making it 19-16, which would be the score heading into the break. And then Andy Gatwich get things going in the third quarter as well. 14 points in counting for Sarah Gatwich, 13, excuse me, but then you have North Star up by as many as 5, and the Gessert start shooting threes again. Neely had 5 triples. All of the damage that Millard West did was from beyond the arc as Gessert got another lay-in. The teams were trading blows, up by 4, and then the threes start falling. So a much different game than what Millard West was used to as Nora knocked down that 3. That was her second triple. We head to the fourth quarter with it being a 1-point game. More threes. In fact, there were 9 field goals for Millard West. 8 of them were from beyond the arc. You have Annie Liu, the junior, for Lincoln North Star, knocking down a 3, tying things back up 28-28. Millard West Paben answers with a 3 of her own, and in what was a defensive slugfest with 3-pointers knocked down as the primary offensive weapon, Millard West does hold on, held to a season-low 34 points, but they do defeat North Star 34-28 and will have a chance to defend their state title. Andy, Class A semifinal number 2 on Friday, Bell West and Westside. 6 versus 7 seed. The winner will get top-seeded Millard West on Saturday. Bell West trying to return to the state championship for the second straight year. How about that block by Stevie Harley? She excels in that skill. She leads Bellevue West single season blocking record for the school. How about that? Shania Foster with the bucket for Westside. The junior at 6'2" had an excellent game. Then on the transition bucket, Yera Sears lays it in. This game was back and forth throughout. It never really got bigger than a lead of 1 or 2, at most 5 later on in the contest, but right now it's 11-11 rounding out the first quarter. And how about that take by freshman Josie Ryan? This is a team, Bellevue West, that starts 3 freshmen. All 3 of them are the leading scorers, and then you have Josie Ryan, the freshman, coming off the bench as well. Speaking of freshmen, though, Joe Matoyer, the freshman phenom for Omaha Westside, she buried that 3. It's a 21-20 lead. Bellevue West at halftime. We come out in the second half, and there is Matoyer again. This time she found Foster. Matoyer led the way with 15 points. Blow by Sears here. The freshman gets the baseline jumper. Lead cut to 2 late in the third. And they have a 3 on the way that goes for Sears, who had an excellent game for Bellevue West. 11 points, only behind Stevie Harley's 12 for the Thunderbirds. Again, 1-point contest, fourth quarter. That shot falls for the Warriors. And then there is Matoyer in transition. This time the rebound is grabbed by Peterson, who puts it back and in. Peterson with 6 points. And then you see late Westside pulling away that final basket by Mia Ursovich. Westside gets the victory, 47-35. Again, outscoring Bell West 14-3 in the fourth. Class B, semifinal number 1, Omaha Skutt, looking to make it back to the state championship game for the 4th consecutive year, taking on the 4-seed Bennington in our first Class B semifinal of the evening. Bennington started out hot right off the jump. 3-pointer knocked down by Presley Baca. 1-3. And then you'd have a second also hit by Ryanell. So it's 6-5 Bennington. And then you have the answer, Molly Ladwig, knocking down the bucket. She had a nice night. We'll see more from her. Cameron Kasner, she finished with a double-double. Count the basket and the foul. That was 2 of her 7 in the first quarter alone. Skutt takes an 18-10 lead into the second quarter. Now Ladwig leading the break. 1 of her 7 assists, finding her teammate in the corner for the triple. That was McMahon with the long ball on that occasion. Talking about a long ball, Ladwig chucking it full court to Michaelis for the lay-in, who finished with 6 points. And as you see here, Skutt has doubled its lead, 30-15 before the break. There's another assist. Libby Shotkoski, 1 of her 3 threes. Oh, excuse me, that was actually Jenna Benjamin knocking it down. Shotkoski did have 3 threes, though, for Skutt. 35-15, 20-point lead, and we're now in the second half. Bennington, strong take to the rack by Harper Boaboy, who led the Badgers with 13 points. It's an 11-point game, but Bennington would not be able to get it any closer in the second half. Kasner, again, a great take. She finished with a double-double, 15 and 10. Skutt, ultimately too much in this one. They finished off with a strong fourth quarter as well. You had 6 free throws knocked down by Ladwig in the corner. You had this 3 hit by Benjamin. The Skyhawks, too much. And we have a nice drive by Mia McMahon, passing it off for the finish to Michaelis. And as you see here, Skutt was able to keep Bennington at arm's length the rest of the way. Your final score in this one, Skutt gets the victory. They advance to the state championship for the 4th consecutive year, 58-45 your final. Bennington season ends at 22-5. Let's take a look at the top plays brought to you by Currency. Class B, state semifinal number 2. Waverly, the 3 seed. Gretna East makes it to the semis after knocking off the 2nd-seeded Pius Thunderbolts. They're hoping to make a bid to the final. Starting things off, 3-pointer. Knocked down by Carly Williams, who had a great game. 3 from the top of the key for DeFini as well. So Gretna East knocks down a couple of long balls early for the Griffins. And you saw a lot of great defense as well. Both teams, this was not a pretty one, particularly in the first half. It speaks to the athleticism, Andy, that we had on the court for both teams.
Yeah, a couple of talented teams, phenomenal athlete, multi-sport athletes at that.
This was an excellent and one. Mia Jackson, 7 of Waverly's 10 points in the first half were scored by Jackson. That was a 3-point play. This is how we ended the half. A steal by DeFini, going coast to coast, makes it 16-10 heading into halftime. Now, the third quarter, things would heat up in a hurry. Gretna East, the head fake, the block by Parker Christensen, and then she came alive, Andy, after being scoreless in the first half. She scored 10 in the third quarter alone. A couple of threes were a part of that.
Yeah, inside-out game. She can score from all 3 levels. No doubt left it all out on the court here tonight.
3 knocked down by Addison LaRock for Gretna East. That was when Waverly was trailing. It puts the Griffins back up by 2. It was a 5-point game. Gretna East lead heading to the 4th. Swing ball, 3 to Berkeley Lambrecht. That would cut it to a 3-point game. The Vikings making a run late in the 4th. Gretna East, though, they would answer. Levinson from the corner, and that would put the Griffins back up by 6, and they would hold off Waverly's rally attempt. They get the victory. Your final score, 38-34. They're led by Carly Williams' 15 points. The Griffins, in their second year as a program at Gretna East, are heading to the state championship, where they will take on top-seeded Omaha Skutt.